The inspectors received a call from a member of the public that had seen Peggy being thrown from a van. And then when the inspector got there, she'd been taken in by one of the local shops who were looking after her. She was found in quite a state, really terrible skin condition, seemed very, very scared and nervous. So we believe, and from the signs, we can see that she's been overbred. Unfortunately, her body shows signs that she's had litter after litter after litter, and unfortunately it's left her, poor little body with some scars. And these, pugs and things are very, very popular breeds at the moment. Unfortunately, it does mean that people don't always look into where they're from, and they buy the puppies not knowing that the mother is being kept in such bad conditions. So we think that probably over time, because her skin was getting worse and worse, they decided that they didn't want to take her to the vets or have to pay for any treatment. So I think that because the skin got into such a terrible state, they decided to dump her and stop breeding from her, rather than actually getting her the treatment that she needed. And then obviously they disposed of her by throwing her from the van. So you could see Peggy, had quite a sweet little personality. She wanted to be friends with everybody, but she was very fearful of touch. So initially, whenever anybody tried to stroke her or go near her, she was, she wanted to, have that interaction, but she'd just cower and seemed really fearful. But she soon came round, soon started to enjoy contact, so did a lot of just very gentle touching and massage, so she would learn that people's hands didn't always equal pain or fear, that actually it could be a positive experience. And I think following the other dogs, because I've got dogs of my own, she could see that they're confident with us, so she kind of followed them, and after a couple of days she really, a little personality started to come out. She's got quite a cheeky, naughty side. And she was a lot of fun, so it was nice that kind of developed over the first week I had her. So at the moment she's still on treatment for her skin, but one of our members of staff is interested in possibly adopting her. So once she's ready for adoption, she will be possibly going home with her and trying that. If not, if that doesn't work out, then we'll be looking for a home for Peggy. She'll go up for adoption. So I'd just say please, please, please do your homework. There's lots of information out there. The RSPCA website has a lot about if you are going to go to a breeder and buy a puppy, the things to look for. They're very, very clever these days. They will make it look very legitimate. They'll bring in dogs and pretend they're the mums when they're not. The only sure way of ever knowing is visiting the mum and the pups when they're young and suckling, and knowing that the pups are suckling from that mum, seeing the condition she's being kept in, and knowing that it's that they are being treated right, because ultimately it is the mums that suffer in this industry. They're the ones that are kept in the dreadful conditions for years and years, and they're the ones that, like Peggy, have untreated medical issues, live quite often in dark, filthy conditions. The puppies, are lucky and generally find nice homes, and if you're lucky and it's well, but you've also got the danger of diseases, that you can take a puppy home and then suddenly have a very ill animal and lots of vet's bills. So you must check it's a responsible breeder, and so the golden rule is to visit and make sure you see the puppy suckling from that mum and know the conditions that she's being kept in.